Tips with Tim.
And welcome back to Tips with Tim, the show where I, Tim, show you drawing tips about mostly storyboarding, but not always. But today we are in part 3 of our series of working with the 180 rule. And before the last 2 episodes, we set up the basics of what the 180 rule is and how to keep your camera on one side of it to keep the audience oriented. Part 2 was when you need to move the 180 or have characters move around, which changes the 180. But that we were always working with 2 characters. What happens when you have 3 or more? That's what we are going to dig into today. And for today's, I'm going to dig up some old storyboards I did for a film called Animal Crackers, written and directed by Scott Sava and co-directed by Tony Bancroft. Now these scenes, they don't appear exactly as in the movie because things get edited, things cut out, so some of this is deleted scenes, so you're in for a treat. The scene starts off here. We start off in the night sky and crane down to this clown's trailer, and then we cut inside, pull back to see the little girl and the dog sleeping on the chair. The mom comes in, covers them up with a blanket. She walks off screen and walks into the next scene. Now this is not a 180 thing, but it harkens back to our lesson on screen direction, where the mom, Zoe, leaves screen left and she enters again on screen right, maintaining continuity and going down to the other end of the trailer here, where Chesterfield is talking to the bear, who's really a human, but he's eating an animal cracker and he doesn't understand why he's turned into a bear. Zoe comes down and sits down. So now we have this 3 shot, and this establishes our 180. This line runs through all between the clown and Zoe, right? Because we're going to stay on this side of that line. And as she sits down, the clown's looking at the bear's paws. Now here, the bear just looks back and forth. Because we've established the 180, we know that when the bear is looking screen left, he's looking at the clown. He blinks, he looks screen right, he's looking at his wife. And now I shifted the camera over here in this drawing. This is almost from Zoe's point of view. But it still hasn't quite crossed the 180. We haven't gone behind anybody or confused the audience. Now this is where I sort of cross the 180, but not too much. I do this over the shoulder shot between Zoe and the bear to see Chesterfield reaching way in that magic box of animal crackers. We zoom into the animal cracker. We see how, a magic one appears. That's me. Yes, it is. And we have a 2 shot. Even when we cut into the close-up, he's holding up the cracker, always on the left. Now this is important here. We have this 2 shot, we cut into some close-ups, and then we go to this 2 shot. Now we could not have cut from this 2 shot to this one because the bear would shift sides and it would be a weird jump cut. We needed these close-ups in the middle between them to make that transition smooth. And through every close-up and 2 shot we've got, I maintain the relationship on this where everybody is spatially. He eats the human cracker, he turns back into a human, and the clown makes a joke, goes for a kiss from his wife, and then from off-screen, consistently from the left, clown grabs him and gives him a big smackaroo, mwah, and makes some joke. So that's pretty easy to maintain a 180 with 3 people. You can do two shots and close-ups with 1 shots, and as long as you maintain eye direction, who's looking at who, you're golden. But what if we have more characters? This scene is also from Animal Crackers. It happens before the one we just saw, but because there are more characters in it, I'm showing it second. This is where Owen, the man who's turned into a bear, takes his family to go see his friend Chesterfield to figure out what's going on. Why is he turning into all these animals? So they enter the circus tent, and they look up, and they see all the clowns practicing. Da, 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 da. And we follow this clown over. A lot of characters to maintain. Hi there, everybody. And they zoom back from him, and everybody freezes. The guy drops his juggling pins. This character unicycles back in. The last pin hits him on the head. Owen asks some question. Anybody know about these? Of course, everybody sees a bear and they panic. Yeah! Now this is a lot of characters, and I don't really have to worry about the 180 here. I'm mostly dealing with just 2 groups, not all the individuals. Cut to another reverse angle. Up runs Chesterfield. And we do an over-the-shoulder shot with Zoe and Owen, the bear, as he says, hi, 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 welcome, welcome, welcome. And oh, you must be Zoe, shakes her hand. Now, in this shot, this is where I establish the main 180 between all four of these characters. We've got them almost in a straight line. They're kind of in a bit of a semicircle, but we see the order of everybody. It's bear, little girl, mom, and clown. We zoom in to just Zoe and the clown. He's shaking her hand, does a little gag, the hand pops off. Rubber snakes pop out of the sleeve, his hand pops out, gotcha! He leans back, and then we cut into the close-up. Of course, she's looking screen right where he is off camera, but he looks screen left where she is. Now here, his eye direction changes, and because where we set up before, or the position of everybody, the audience knows he's looking down at the little girl. And we cut to the little girl, the clown leans in, and he pulls out a coin from behind her ear. She's impressed. Hey, what else can you do? And I bet you like balloon animals. So we cut wide again to reestablish where everybody is, because it's usually a good idea. If you're cutting to too many close-ups in a row, even if you maintain the 180, you get a little lost where everybody is. It's good to back up every so often and reestablish the situation and everybody together. He reaches in his pocket, pulls out the balloon, inflates it, squeak, 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 and makes a little pony. We cut to the same pose, wider. She's not impressed. He pops it and he reaches in deeper. He pulls out a big balloon, and as he blows it, we pull out, and good establishing shot, not only to show what he's doing, but to reestablish the position of everybody. Hasn't changed. Starts folding the balloon, turns into a giant horse. The girl is amazed, and now I cut to this over-the-shoulder shot. So it's close to a point of view shot, a POV, where Zoe and Owen can see Chesterfield and his amazing balloon animal horse. Is it crossing the 180? But it still works. I haven't disoriented the audience. Chesterfield leans into the girl and says, how'd you like that? Looks up at mom and dad. Again, we have this close-up here, and because of eye direction, we know that they're looking up at mom and dad. Up shot on the bear. I don't know. And then this, cutting from here to here, I've either lost a drawing or I failed to put one in, because this looks like a 180 error. Right here, there should be a drawing. When we cut wide to the 3-shot, Chesterfield should be over in this area right here first. The bear is looking screen right, so Chesterfield should technically still be screen right. So I need to put another drawing in there to make this hook up better. And then he can move over to the left, just like we've talked about characters moving and it changing the 180 before. He grabs the bear by the arm, and they walk off camera all together, with Zoe following behind. Now, what I hope to get across in these examples is that even though you can have a scene that gets more and more complex with more characters, the best idea is to keep things simple. So that's how you deal with 3, 4, maybe 5 characters. But what happens when you add even more? We're going to cover that in the next episode. So until then, like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you want to see more of my storyboarding lessons, go to creatureartteacher.com and keep drawing. We'll see you next time.